Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here at the QT Melbourne in Melbourne, Australia. I'm here with Lee Davey, who's the general manager, and we're going to talk about this hotel, which is so centrally located in Melbourne. Great hotel, and we're going to find out all about it on Insider Travel Report. Now, Lee, I just finished a 2-night stay here. It's been wonderful. Let's talk a little bit first about the history, about QT Hotels itself, the company. What does it include now?
Yeah, sure, James. So the QT brand, I guess, was conceived about 10 years ago. The first property was at the Gold Coast, which is north of Sydney. And since then, I guess we've now launched into our 9th property across Australia and New Zealand. And yeah, it just keeps going from strength to strength. We're part of a larger company that runs a cinema brand, so we're in the business of entertainment, the business of having heaps of fun. And I guess our managing director at that time saw, I guess, a hole in the market where there wasn't anything in Australia that was really quite quirky, boutique, and a little bit crazy, right? So,
and that's exactly what this is. It's a wonderful hotel. Let's talk about the QT Melbourne itself. What's the history of the hotel? When was it built? It's new construction, right?
Yeah, so the hotel was opened in 2016 in September. It was actually an old cinema site, so it was demolished way beyond then, and we opened a 188 room hotel, brand new greenfield build, and it's really taken off in the market. It's really taken our travellers and Melbourne by storm. A little bit different, I guess. So the old cinema has been knocked down and built into the most magnificent boutique hotel.
No, it's an amazing hotel. Now, talk a little bit about the location here. It's really an incredible location. We're not far from anything, and you're right not in Chinatown's close by, everything.
Yeah, so the location-wise for the properties, bang smack in the middle of the CBD, between Burke Street and Collins Street. It's down the Paris end side of Melbourne, so it's where the luxury brands are and great hotels and great restaurants are. But I guess from a perspective of where our guests can come in, they're right smack bang, like you said, Chinatown, and down the other end in Little Flinders Lane, there are some of the best restaurants in Australia, if not the world. And you can walk out and you can be at the football in 5 minutes. You can,
which I tried.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that and get you to barrack for a better team, but we'll sort that out another discussion one down the track. But it's a great location, and it's central to everything for Melbourne. So as you said, the market, it's just in the great spot.
Now, talk a little bit about the accommodations. My room was great, but what different types of accommodations do you offer, and what's included in every room?
Yeah, so 188 rooms in the property, from our standard deluxe king rooms to our corner rooms, which have a bath that hang pretty much nearly over Russell Street, looking in.
I'll have to come back for that one. I think that would be.
You might
intriguing.
do that. Yeah, my wife enjoys them too. But basically, there's 8 different styles of rooms in the property, and they're really different in terms of polished floorboards, concrete ceilings, mini bars that are quite unique, that have quirky items in, such as pickup sticks and bow ties and really good bottles of spirits and such. So in terms of what's included, they're just a different style of room altogether, and really design led also.
Well, that's a great accommodation. It's a very comfortable room, and again, really almost everything you need. And talk a little bit about the food and beverage. What are the options here? I know you have a few things, right?
So across the venue, there's different styles of food. We'll start on top with our Rooftop Garden and Rooftop.
I tried it one night. I did a circuit around. It was pretty popular on Saturday night.
Certainly is. It's definitely a hot spot for travellers and also locals to come to drink on rooftop. But our rooftop bar looks north and looks over the city. It's fabulous. And then outside of the rooftop bar, we have our secret garden, which is fully sustainable, and our chefs use that space also. And we now use that space to hold I guess secret events for our guests that come through and wanting to have a campfire experience as such.
Campfire on the roof, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. And then as we go down the building, we have our Pascal Bar and Grill, which is modern Melbourne cuisine, well, Australian cuisine to that point. And I guess slightly French inspired to a degree, European designed. And then we head into our bar, which is part of Pascal. Then we head downstairs. We've got another restaurant called Hot Sauce, which is Korean style, I guess fast food. Mm-hmm. Next to that also we have our Japanese knife shop called Tanto, and we sell Japanese knives, and you can also get your knife sharpened.
Every time I travel, I want my knife sharpened. That's the problem.
You could do that, but so our knife shop's quite unique in that it's become now quite well used by local restaurants and chefs coming through to get a knife sharpened here now. It's become, I guess, part of the culture of restaurants using our space to get a knife sharpened. So it's very, very, very different. And then you put me on the spot.
You put the coffee. We can see over there. You have a coffee spot over the coffee shop over there on the other side of the lobby. We're on the lobby here in the main one. Yeah.
So our cake shop's more around just a quick grab and go in the morning. Great bircher music, great egg and bacon rolls, and just best Melbourne coffee you can have. And then you're on your day and you start your day.
And Melbourne's they like their coffee, right?
Absolutely, that's what Melbourne's known for compared to Sydney. We don't talk about coffee in Sydney.
About coffee,
no, not at all.
But it really all the facilities are great. I've eaten at the restaurant a few times. I did not know about the Korean the knife sharpening or the other hot pot place.
Just again another element of what QT and what the quirkiness is all about. Each hotel has its own, I guess, play on quirkiness and creativeness and being a little bit different in terms of what the hotel looks like.
Now, one of the other quirky things about this hotel is the art and all the aesthetic around it, because there's some really surprising stuff as you turn every corner. If you could talk a little bit about that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so again, as we have mentioned, that the hotels are design-led, and the art element of our hotels is incredibly important. We were just talking before off air about our lifts and what our lifts can pick up in terms of there's sensors in the lifts that pick up there might be one person lifts or two people lifted it, and it might have a quirky message about getting on with the day, the two of you, or it can actually be quite controversial sometimes and start you.
Well, I had one who told me I was leaving the lift and it said, a female voice said, "I really do like champagne," or something like that. And I'm like, oh wow, okay.
I often get quite regularly, "Oh, you've really got really sexy legs." And I sometimes think maybe I do, or someone actually looking at me when we're seeing the lift. So yeah, the art element of the hotels is incredibly important.
Yeah, no, and there's some wonderful, and you'll see some aspects of the art that's all around the hotel, some really unusual stuff. Now, what would you tell travel advisors when they want to book someone in here what's the best things to experience in this property?
Yeah, I think it's definitely our service. And I think that
which is amazing. I mean, your team is great.
Thank you. From the moment you walk in our hotels, we don't have doormen as such. We have what's called a director of chaos.
Director of chaos.
Director of chaos stands in the front of the hotel, and their role is to essentially surprise and delight what your day's about. So make sure that they're, when you walk through, the girls are wearing wigs and leather pants, and so look out. If you've got a director of chaos after, you might be in some trouble. But our signature service is unexpected, unrequested, and it's all about doing something for someone they're not actually ready for. So, for example, we had a young child stay with his parents recently, and we found he loved Lego. So we ensured when they got back to the room there was a big thing of Lego in the room, and it's elements of they weren't ready for it, they weren't expecting it, and we ensured that little Jordan was looked after.
Well, believe me, your staff has been able to suggest lots of fun things to do, lots of places to eat. I really went with their suggestions almost wholeheartedly while I was here trying to explore Melbourne, and they are really great. Well, Lee, thank you very much for filling us all in on the QT Melbourne, a marvelous boutique hotel, very unusual here in Melbourne, Australia, and good luck with the future.
Thank you, James, and appreciate you staying with us.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.